All right, guys, welcome back to a brief video. Now, the folks over at Poetic sent over all of their cases for most of their cases for the S23 and the S23 Ultra. These are the devices that I had planned on covering. I for sure probably will go ahead and get the S23, and I'm somewhat interested in the S23 Ultra. But the S23 Ultra, this is a dummy unit, and then here's my S22 Ultra. This is a real phone. Now, I don't see very much difference at all. We knew this going into this, that these devices are probably going to look very similar. So here's one of the cases here. This is the Neon for the S23. You can see how it's built versus other S22 cases. Obviously, the Neon is a two-piece case. You can slap it on to your device, and I'll put that on in just a second. I also have the Neon for the S23. I think this is going to be really nice because you can see the differences here. With this being a flat display versus the curved display, you can see how the case is built a little different, and it kind of overlays over the display here for the S23 versus the S23 Ultra. And so the Neon is actually a really nice case. I've checked it out before, and I think you'd probably like the Neon if you decide to pick it up. You can see you have the S Pen slot there for your S23 Ultra, but we're going to get into these cases in just a second here. But my concerns at this point are the devices. Not trying to deter anyone from purchasing the S23, the lineup. This happens every year. Companies come out with new versions of their devices, and they say it's the next model up. This is probably one of the first years where I'm just genuinely I don't feel like I'm going to be really impressed with this new Ultra. It definitely is pretty much the same device. They're selling it on the new cameras. If you look at these toy camera modules, you get some sense of how big the sensors or how it's just going to look. But, I don't know how accurate it is, obviously, because this is a dummy unit. This is a real phone. This is my S22 Ultra, like I said. These are identical, folks. There's nothing different, really. And it's a shame that this is how it is. Now, this dummy unit obviously feels like it's a little taller, but it's still just a dummy unit. So I've had my experiences with dummy units, and most of the time they're on. The launch is coming. And I'm excited about it. But when I put on this S23 case for the S23 Ultra, I get the feeling that I got when I first got my S22 Ultra. Nothing different. And I mean, just so happened, this is a really nice case. I genuinely like this case. But you can see how it's done here. With the camera modules, same as before. The Neon hasn't changed much. Let me put on the Neon for this one right here. Now, the S23 I am definitely interested in, if I could get it on here properly. With it being a two-piece case, you might have to go ahead and put the phone in first like this, and then put the case on afterwards. That might be how you have to do it, but this is definitely going to be more to my liking here, having this smaller variant, which is still pretty big. It's going to have probably a 6.1 inch or a 6.2 inch display, but the Neon cases themselves are really good looking cases, and it's about the cases, but it's also about the phones. And I could take this S23 Ultra case, pop it right on my S22 Ultra, and it fits exactly the same. All the buttons, everything works the same. They're all in the same spot. Nothing's different. My S Pen access still right here. Nothing different on that. Everything is identical. And there's just nothing different about this particular phone. And so I wonder what Samsung's strategy is going to be when it comes to trying to sell the S23 lineup. And I guess I'm just starting to, I guess I'm just kind of tired of the wheel being reinvented and just colors changing. This is obviously my sky blue, my limited sky blue. And I'm also recording this video with my burgundy Z Fold 4. Now, I'm really excited for other OEMs to bring something different. I'm really hoping that Samsung has something to offer more so with this device. It appears that the device, that S23, could have some flatter sides and a more modern design, more in line with, let me just see here, with the flat size. This is the ZenFone 9. And I'm really hoping that Samsung tries something new. So if you're wondering how big it's going to be, this is what it looks like next to the ZenFone 9. It's not that much bigger than the ZenFone 9. It's actually almost about the same size. So this will probably be a 6.1 inch or a 6.2 inch display. It's just gonna, the ZenFone obviously, has that bigger chin at the bottom and bigger bezel at the top. But I'm wondering if Samsung's gonna stretch this out and just keep the same body. Now, if we look around this device here, you can see you've got a power button, a volume rocker, and this probably maybe some kind of 5G antenna module there. On the dummy units, they make them look different. And then this is a SIM tray. And then there's no headphone jack or anything like that, but you do have your Type-C and everything down with your speaker. So again, Samsung is gonna have to really wow me this time for me to do any kind of trade-ins or even buy the Ultra, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm extremely excited about this version right here, the 23, because I want to see what they're going to do different than the 22. Now, the 22, I bought it and then sold it off. No, I think that's one of the phones I did a catch and release on, actually. I sent that one back right before I had just enough time to, so I wouldn't get stuck with it. But the battery life just wasn't good on there. Other than that, everything on that device was pretty much solid. But then afterwards, it got a major update and tons of people started to report great battery on the S22. So I really thought about buying an S22 because I was thinking, how much more different could it possibly be than the S23? And I know that once the S23 drops, these cases, all these things will all fit that same device. It just kind of looks like the modules appear to be bigger on here. But again, these are dummy units. So most of the time, the dummy units are a little bit more pronounced. But, the S23 is something that I'm really excited about. And it's a good size, nice big screen. There's going to be lots of cases that I already have that fit this device because of S22. So I appreciate Poetic sending out their lineup. I'm just more concerned about people who actually do just willing to trade in their S22 devices to get the S23. And when is enough, I guess. I mean, because this is nice and everything. And, you got to love that manufacturers are going to bring out lots of cases to support the devices. They're going to do it. It's just what it is. We need lots of cases for these devices because they cost a lot of money. And I always put a case on my device when I go outside, but indoors, predominantly, I don't use a case. I've broken 1 or 2 phones indoors over the years of having all these phones, and I don't break very many of them, but anything's possible. But this is the S23 compared to the S22, and I just don't know what is going to be so great about the S23 that will make me give up my limited blue color. Now, obviously, this is a matte feel all around on the sides. On the back, it's all matte, but I put a clear protector on the back here a long time ago once I first got it because I don't want the matte to get scratched up at all, and I want it to stay in pristine condition. But sadly enough, man, Samsung doesn't appear to be doing anything spectacular, at least not to me, to warrant an upgrade at this point, but you make your own decision. I'm definitely planning on getting the 23 though, the smaller variant. And if that doesn't wow me, I am probably for sure going to get the S22. And I'm going to get that purple color. I really like that purple color because I have the Z Fold 4. I have the S22 Ultra. I have the Z Flip 3. I have the bangers. I have their lineup. Their lineup is beautiful. I have the devices. They bring great devices, but they're gonna have to do something different in order to get me to swap out my S22 Ultra. I just don't see the need to, and I know it's early on. I know the announcement isn't here yet. I know we're not done yet, but I don't think this is gonna be one of those times where I say I'm just gonna trade for a color. I just don't see it happening. I would literally be throwing money out the window if I decide to change my device, this device, and go to the 23 for, let's say, they say the camera's better. Let's say the processor's better. I'm already getting stellar performance on the S20 2 Ultra, and you know, I like my current Samsung lineup. I just need to go ahead and make a decision whether or not I'm going to grab the S22 or the S23 when that time comes. So do you think it's warranted? I know we're early on. This isn't a rumor anymore. The 23s are coming. Samsung already has the date set. Are you one of those people that are going to update and go from your 22 Ultra to your 23 Ultra? Or are you going to go from the 22 to the 23? Now, one change that might be warranted for the 23 is what they did for the Z lineup. I put my case back on my Z Fold 4. It's just sitting there. But, you know, battery size. What if they change the battery size in the S23? That's just going to make it all the better. And I got a feeling they're probably going to up the battery size in the S23 lineup a little bit, at least the Plus and the 23. I don't think they're going to keep the battery size the same. In the leaks, what I thought I saw flatter sides on the device. That's what I thought I saw, like on some of the leaked photos. But on this, it has a shiny, rounded side still. So we shall see. Again, dummy unit. We don't know for sure, but it does appear to be very thin. So let's hope that some of these things are true. But anyway, man, it's your man Jay. I wanted to put it into perspective, man, just to see what you guys thought about the S23 lineup. Like, is it really going to be worth the update or upgrade, I should say? This Poetic case these cases are nice right here. Oh my gosh, they feel really good. And again, shout out to Poetic for sponsoring this video. I appreciate them getting these dummy units out and getting some of their cases out. I do have a ton of cases that I want to show on the devices. So, you know, just stick around for that. But I had to go ahead and bring this to you right now. Is it really going to be worth the upgrade? Or do you feel like you should change? Do you feel like you should switch from your S22 lineup, no matter which device you have, to go to the S23 lineup? I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.